The stories you've never heard.
Who did Susie O'Neill famously slap?
The jokes behind the jokes.
What would happen if I did a great big fart?
For the first time ever on Ash, Lutzi, and Susie O'Neill.
I just peed a pants.
We go behind the laughter.
End of the week, it's the Producers Podcast, taking you behind the scenes of everything Ash, Lutzi and Susie. This is Behind the Laughter. I'm Nick. We've got executive producer Alicia.
Hello.
And producer Lockie as well. Hello, everyone. We're done. It's a very, very full board as we've just wrapped up everything that needed to be done post-show. Alicia, you explaining to Ash how to do a paid Instagram post was incredible.
Not even just an Instagram post in general. He didn't know how to do one. He just opened Instagram and went, "What do I do now?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Press the plus button."
Can
at
I
the bottom of the
clarify
screen."
what was going on there? Because I could hear everything. My back was turned to you, and
Probably for the best.
Yeah, well, I heard things that I'm not sure should go on in an office.
No. There was nothing that HR would give the all clear to for what we just went through for the last 10 minutes. But please do not take this podcast as evidence. What happens in the airlock is not always subject to... Anyway, not the point. No, we had every now and then, so tomorrow, for example, is IKEA's Pajama Day. So when a brand or something might have something on, they will send promotional gear through to the host. That's why you usually see them wearing some sort of promotional material. And if you go through, for example, Mitch's... extensive Narnia closet of that's where it usually all ends up. But tomorrow's IKEA Pajama Day, so they send in some IKEA pajamas for them to wear, and the idea is they post on their own.
So comfy. Those.
They
I'm
really-
actually jealous.
I actually
kinda
thought
want a pair.
I was eyeing them off too. I'm like, oh no, that they like them
want a pair.
too. See,
Yeah.
sometimes that thing.
They actually got taken home. For
They
once.
took 'em
Things
instantly,
never get
so-
taken home.
I'm interested to see how long they'll stick around for and how Ash will commit to them. Ash will wear it as a shirt one day.
Probably.
I just know it. I just know it. North Devils colours too, so I'm gonna say that happening. But you had to step Ash through the process. Lutzi managed to get it done pretty quickly.
Mostly,
but,
yeah.
Ash, you walked him through, and
Yeah.
very good producing. But this sort of happened outside. This is through your agency of Ash and Lutzi as their talent manager as well, which I don't think you receive an extra fee for.
I do not,
This
no.
was because that wasn't show related. This is for their own personal socials.
Because it was supposed to be in their own words, so I sort of wrote it a little bit for Ash, not so much for Lutzi. I was like, you can do your own, but Ash was like, oh, you'll have to do it for me. So I sent it to him as a text, and then I was like, just copy and paste that into your caption. He didn't even know how to do that. I was like, just copy the text I sent you and paste it into your caption. What?
See, there's the difference between Alicia and I right there. Alicia was very, you facilitated, you made sure that even though this was technically outside the spectrum of what your role suggests, you made sure that all got through and happened, and you helped. Me, I was very holding the line of going, this is outside my JD. I'm not happy about this. I don't care what happens in this. Here's your photos. I'm done.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
So do we know did they both take those, the pajamas?
Oh, yeah, no,
home?
the pajamas are gone.
They
Lockie.
did. They've
I
gone home.
know throughout the whole conversation, the one thing you were still thinking about was the pajamas. The
No,
pajamas
well,
are gone.
I think Lutzi actually wore them out of the office.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He kept them on.
The reason why I bring this up, and I'm interested in, I guess, the whereabouts of the pajamas, because Nick, I think it would be fair, I guess, if you went home with something today.
Fair. That's a fair game.
Yeah, no, well,
I'm already rolling my eyes.
it would be fair if
Where's he going with this?
if maybe you could be given something today from
The spoils of war, as I call it.
because I certainly am walking home with the exact same number of things that I've come in to work with, and you too. I believe.
I can happily declare that I will be leaving today with no more
he is
promotional
so
products than I entered
butthurt
with.
about this.
And me too. Alicia, what about you?
I got something today, which is
Wow.
unusual. It is unusual.
Never have I ever seen a producer get on board and take home.
It wasn't
Extra
requested
gear.
on my behalf. So the lovely Vari came in earlier this week. She works for Holman, and Susie was asking for her advice because she's looking for some outdoor stuff. And Vari texted me and said, what was because Buzz was also asking about a timer, and she said, I want to bring some stuff in for the guys. What time would be great and whatever. And I said, yeah, awesome. They'd love some free stuff. You can bring it in. And she turned up with not only stuff for Susie and Buzz, but Ash and Lutzi each got a little bag of things, and so did I. I'm
Interesting.
sorry that I've been the one communicating. Maybe if you were the guest booker, Lockie, you would get some of this stuff.
Yeah,
but
it just feels unfair. It feels like we're
I just got like a watering can and a Like, it's nothing exciting.
But then,
like, they
Alicia,
got all the
I didn't know
technology.
what Alicia got until this point. I knew she
Yeah.
received something, and I saw Susie walking away with 30 meters of hose. Or
Yeah,
if you
Susie got a
if-
30-meter hose. Buzz got an automatic timer. I got a watering can. So
No, but it wasn't just a watering can because you also got.
and a plant self-waterer, which I think is really cool. It's not. It's just like a little. Like you stab it into
That
your
sounds
plant,
real fancy.
and it
Is that like a cat self-feeder?
Essentially.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
It's pretty cool.
Well, as we know, any plant that is ever given to me by this office or anyone dies
Immediately
instantly.
dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
I do you know what the sad thing was, Nick? This is what I want to say, is that not only was Alicia given a gift that you and I weren't given, but then she tried to offload part of the gift.
No, it's only because you were so butthurt about it. You were like, "Oh, I didn't get anything," and I said, "I didn't ask for this. Do you want the watering can?" And he said, "Oh, now you're trying to offload it."
Well,
you
it's
know.
just, I mean,
I'm sorry,
as
Lachlan.
you said just before, Nick, there within this team, never have we had a producer who's decided to take gifts and accept gifts, and I thought that would have continued today. But obviously, times have changed, and Alicia is,
I'm better than you. Just get used to it.
okay. Wow. Are
That's
you,
the moral of the story.
are you witnessing this?
This is really feeling like the old regime. Okay, but very quickly, let's all declare the last item of promotional gear that we took home, whether gifted or Spoils of War style, took. What is the last thing we have all taken from the workplace?
I would have taken a Pizza Hut bucket hat.
Yeah, I took a pair of Channel 10
Ooh.
socks that sat behind Ash's
Channel
desk for a
10
week.
socks?
I wanted to see
Have you
if...
ever worn them?
Not yet, but I figured they'd look kind of cool with a pair of sneakers. So they sat behind Ash's chair for a week,
Ah.
and I did as an experiment. I said, if they're there after another week, I'm taking them because Ash has not noticed them. And Lockie, you saw me take them, and you go, yeah, it's fair game. It's fair game.
But okay, so yours was technically a gift to Ash that you've stolen.
Yep.
Mine was
Trickle-down economics.
was basically, I guess, promotional material that we got given, like 100 hats and 100 caps as well. Alicia, what was the last thing you?
I think it was MasterChef plates
Yeah.
got sent in.
See,
Nobody else wanted them, and I said, "I want
You're
some
noticing the
plates."
quality of the gift, the disparity between
Well,
a $5 hat, a $5 pair of socks, and then some fancy plates.
I mean, regardless, like what I like about it is eventually, once I get bored with them, and I'm sure you guys will too, they'll just end up at Vinnie's or something, and they
Yeah.
get back out into the wider
Exactly.
economy, which
True.
I
That's
like,
Exactly.
which I'm very happy about. So okay,
I
we're
don't think
improving
we.
the system.
I don't.
you're on watch, Foster.
Yeah. I don't think we mentioned on Wednesday's episode of this little podcast why exactly Vari did come in, because there's been quite the development in Susie's missing keys case. Nothing really touched on today. Yesterday we had the idea that Bento, the office dog, should be learning how to.
Yes,
become a
Bento, our
sniffer dog.
Bernese mountain dog, who is an employee of the company, technically for legal and tax reasons.
Yeah.
Yes, Bento will now be learning how to sniff for keys. Now, I did some research. Bernese mountain dogs, more for kind of finding people in avalanches or working dogs. Oh my god!
guys.
Hello,
Jeez.
Mitch.
Scared the heck out of me, Mitch.
Mitch Kramer Lewis just
Burst through the
kicked
studio
down
door.
the freaking door.
You know, if anything, I did it with two hands, not one like.
No, you didn't do it with
I'll
two
know for
hands,
next
mate.
time.
You did it with gusto. Hello, welcome.
guys.
Very quickly, last piece of promotional material that you took home with you
From here.
from here.
Oh, geez, I've had a look at the very fresh. We had the Brisbane Heat crew in yesterday, and they've got a whole ton of stuff out there. And I was going to absolutely clean up for my kids. They got flags. They got
Oh, I thought you meant one of the cardboard cutouts without a head.
no. Although if I was going to take one, I'd my kids every time they come in, they look at the Paddy Carrigan and Reece Walsh cutouts that we've got, and they say, "Can we take them home?" So yeah.
What was the last thing you took home for yourself? Because
Just for you.
What do we have recently? What have we had in here?
Did anybody take home? I have a
Yeah.
question. The tape measure that we got for the home show.
Dreamhouse. I
Dreamhouse.
did take. We had about 4, and I did take one.
Did
Great
you?
tape measure.
I wondered
yes.
what happened to all
See,
of
I feel
those.
like there's
See,
one or two
Alicia's-
still laying around.
Yeah,
Alicia's
I have
tape
one in the
measures
booth.
and hoses
Yeah.
and plates, and I'm just trying to work out if you're just trying to like completely like refit a house. Like slowly but
Yeah.
surely, you're renting an unfurnished place, and every day you just take a little bit more of the
Something just
station
to
and
furnish it.
fill it out. Yes, it
Yeah.
looks like a radio studio, but you're comfy. You're comfy. You mentioned the Brisbane Heat really quickly there, Mitch, because yes, we had a delegation from them come in yesterday. Now, sometimes for clients, we film little videos, and Mitch, through the week, we had to wrangle up some Brisbane Heat gear and to put the guys in, and a lot of people forgot shirts and whatnot. We have them from over the years, but we want to do like a nice little behind-the-scenes sends a video. This just goes to the client. And anyway, it's tough enough to get them together to film them and just get them to say a nice little video. And I filmed it because we managed to get them all in one space. And Ash and Lutzi were using cardboard cutouts as uniform. And I sent it to Rach in sales going, here we go, this is what you asked for. And she came back to me and said, we're going to need to do something about this because it was a 4-person talking head thing where they kind of just rotate between who's talking. And I don't know, maybe because they're on radio and they don't have to worry about like TV presenter face when they're not talking. So as soon as each of them stop talking, they just wander off. Suze's face goes from smiley to just blank and normal. And Rach goes to me, we can't use this. So I had to quickly recut it like 9:16, each person talking, and then either side of it put some old footage of what we've done with the Heat over the years. And it looks way
you
better.
made a way professional
I should
video.
have just done it in the first place. Also, I'm
Yeah.
a Brisbane Heat nuffy, so fair enough. And
Yeah.
I want to be looked upon favourably by this organisation. So, yeah, sometimes that is,
Yeah.
and like we dealt with this morning of social posts, sometimes wrangling them after the show can be the
be hard.
hardest thing in the world to
Yeah.
do.
You have to literally be like block the doorway before they've run past you and be like, stop!
Well, I can't like
We
even
need you!
even this morning we had the wonderful Sharon Goodella come through.
Yeah.
Great to have her back on our screen. She
Love
came in,
her.
got her back in the cave,
Yeah.
and sure enough, just like Alicia, as we spoke about in the last podcast, need to get a photo. I walk outside, Ash and Lutzi are already gone.
They're gone.
They've said their goodbyes.
And that was part of my commitment for the interview with Channel 10 was,
no.
well, great, we'll get a photo with her, we'll tag. You know, they did ask for it, and I was like, we always do with guests, so no stress.
I will say on your
The
part,
one time they run away.
well
immediately.
timed. You walked out at the right time. You weren't there too early. looking
100%.
like
Again, I saw the
a
movement.
nuffy.
I just know. Just know.
Exactly. That's good. Early this week, as we were talking about just before Mitch came in, we have been doing some wrangling to try and track down Susie's keys.
Yes.
We had to do a lineup, which is not something that I have experienced in radio.
It's a very visual medium.
Yeah, a lineup. Alicia, how is that in terms of trying to organise people? Because I remember I got a text message at like whatever time on Tuesday it was.
Yeah.
Did you exercise your
Yeah.
right to disconnect?
I did.
Yeah, it was tough because, like, obviously I've not lived in Brisbane for that long, so
No.
I don't know. I don't have like a handful of like all these connections here and all these people that I can call on at short notice. So when it was like, oh, we have a lady that we believe was there. Let's get her in and let's get some other people who look like her and get Susie to pick her out. And I said, where the hell am I going to find people that look like this woman? So I reached out to like the 3 brunettes that I know. None of them could come in.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to Lockie and said, do you know anyone? I reached out to Buzz and said, do you know anyone? And we ended up just using 2 other ladies that work here.
Yeah, I mean, I saw your message and I was like, okay, I'll at least ask my sisters who are brunettes, and one of them lives in Toowoomba. She said, not going to be able to make it down for 8:30. The other 2 are like, I've got work, so not sure what I can do. But I did have the thought, Nick, I guess the Instagram Non-Defeat AM channel that we have, is that a resource that we can be tapping whenever there's show, not that we really do show bits like this, it's not something that we do all that often, but is that a resource that we can
It is,
be
it
using?
is a resource we can use. It's definitely underused because I'm still yet to find the best way to use it. But yes, it could be worth soliciting through. I'll work on it.
I had that thought. I was like,
Good idea. It's a good
is it
idea.
the sort of thing that we can essentially bring people in on the inside, bring
Yeah.
them behind the laughter,
Yeah,
so to speak.
of course, those who are part of Non-Defeat AM. I mean, if you know, you know. Just Non-Defeat AM. But make sure, I'd say a lot of the producers, podcast listeners are also part of that now. But
Yeah.
if you would like to be, please just head to our Instagram channel and join the broadcast channel, Non-Defeat AM. It's Latin, so, it's just, no, that's how it's said.
And
I realise it looks so weird in
I've
writing.
worked here for nearly a year and I still, it doesn't, I don't think it means anything in particular.
No, I
It's
think
just
it
a
does.
phrase that
It does
this
mean
team
No,
have come
it
up
does
with.
mean something.
It does mean something.
It is written into the show's law.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
like, I know
explain-
what it means in the show, but outside of that, I've even Googled it and
No.
Google Translate can't figure it out.
No, but that's a fun thing about Latin. Sometimes it doesn't always translate perfectly.
I feel like we have explained it on this podcast before.
Yes,
Not-
it has
not-
been. Not
fully?
explicitly, but it has
And
been.
I don't think it will ever be explicitly explained.
I don't think it needs to be touched on again. Not a feature am.
It loosely translates to "don't waste it," and that is there's a story behind that term.
which is open for interpretation.
Anyway,
And that's where we'll leave it.
that is where we will leave it because we've got to make sure that this podcast is, at a certain
I've got to
standard.
make sure it's clean and wholesome and family friendly and inoffensive and just, I'd say vanilla. Just got to, I mean, it's everyone's favourite flavour around the country. Everybody just loves vanilla. And
Can you just like bring his mic down a little bit, Lockie?
Yeah, sure. Are you,
Just all the way down.
you right there, Nick? It feels like I've
Firing up a little bit.
touched something there.
It's a
that-
nerve.
Oh no!
Given
Look, maybe as a sort of Baskin Robbins sort of operator, where I really like to include a lot of flavors in. When I'm told that vanilla is the only choice, then maybe I'll get a little bit annoyed that I've had the other flavors taken away from me, and I've got to find a different way to reinvent vanilla now. So anyway,
Hey, but that's what cookies and cream's here for.
Vanilla bean. I love a vanilla bean.
I don't know. I might need to fly Bean up the flagpole. See how that goes. Anyway, no, geez, that wasn't coded. So.
Oh dear. Has the rest of the week been? Because I took a day off yesterday.
You did,
did.
but good husband. Good
Yeah.
husband.
Well, I didn't want to.
okay.
I didn't want to say it, but I guess so.
That's why I was doing it there for
Care
you.
for a
But
very
Thanks.
sick wife.
Thanks, Nick.
Poor Susanna.
Yeah, she the voms and the toots
wow,
is
double,
how I'll,
Lovely.
2 p.m.
Just
double
a-
shot.
ju-
Just a double play there.
just a real bad case of food poisoning,
Yeah.
and up until the early hours of the morning, going, I really should go to bed if I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. She's like, oh yeah, but can you stay awake until the house doctor comes? And he didn't come till like 2:30 or something like that.
What is this? 1890? The house doctor
Well, she
turns
called
up in a freaking plague mask.
she called 13 Health, which is like the I guess the
The
hotline
nurses, yeah.
with nurses on. Have you called 13 Health before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so
I
if
guess I'm
you,
just too healthy.
if you have a medical emergency that isn't an emergency, so you after hours especially.
Sure, don't clog up the emergency rooms.
Exactly. So you might call something like a service like 13 Health, which is a free service. You call up, you go, hey, I've got this issue. Should I be concerned? That kind of thing, and they will then advise you. Okay, see how it goes for the next hour or two. Then maybe book in for like a house doctor, and if then it's still worse after that, at their advice, then you could go to the emergency. So it's actually
That's a really good system.
it's a great system. But yes, early hours of the morning gave me a glimpse. I was like, oh man, if one day in the future I have kids, like I now feel way more empathetic towards
what it is.
to Buzz and
Yes.
Mitch as well, going, oh yeah,
The
okay,
whole night dealing with vomiting and
yeah.
gross.
And those daycares are just petri dishes.
Oh, honestly, the worst.
Buzz's kids are always sick. It really puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really did. So my wife is at home at the moment. Yesterday, we ventured. I said, Suze, you should go down to the couch rather than lying in bed all day, and managed to get her down to the couch. And she was like, wow, this feels like an adventure. And I was like, you've taken 20 steps. Congratulations.
I get it. I get
So
it.
you have you had a bad case before?
I've never had food poisoning, but in a combination of horrible hangovers and just sickness, like I remember
Sure.
the day where just walking downstairs felt like running a marathon.
Yeah.
So
But mine was entirely self-inflicted.
So it was a weird day yesterday because there were a couple of meetings I still joined because I felt like I was fine to still work because I feel like I hate letting down the team and not being able to be there for stuff.
Oh.
But at the same
But that's
time,
the horrible thing about when you're on sick leave or leave. You still, and that's a very general work thing. That you feel like you're letting your team down when you're not.
well, carers leave is different because like sick leave, if I'm sick, I feel terrible. I probably want to sleep. Carers leave, you're there just to care for the sick person,
Yeah,
so you're
like,
totally fine.
Your mind can't be with work.
And I guess that the nature of our job is that between the hours of 9:30 till whenever we finish, we can just do normal work, but I can't produce from home.
No, you can't. Although I would have said during that meeting big serious meeting we had yesterday, if Lockie's mic had been punctuated by the sound of his wife throwing up out of both ends, would have really undercut the tone a bit.
Yeah. that would have been funny.
Would have made
I
it
made sure I moved to a different room.
smart.
Uh,
The walls are only so thin down in Darra.
yeah. Oh, I mean, the townhouses that we live in are pretty cheaply made, so I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, that's enough for that. Next week, last week of Alicia before she goes away to the US.
Right, on the Avril Lavigne World Tour.
Yeah, I'm so
Just
excited.
following her around.
Avril Lavigne.
Okay, are you going to put some like streaks in your hair? Like, okay,
No.
Avril Lavigne fans like Swifties in a way where they're like, okay, will your outfit for Avril Lavigne in Chicago, which is I love the dedication to the craft. I love that. Have you thought about your outfit?
I'm going a bit punk rockery with it.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
I really want to get like a kind of a sleeveless T-shirt with some kind of big pattern on the front. I'm thinking like a dark grey color, some high-waisted shorts, and like tights and boots.
Studded belt.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
of course.
there it is.
So Avril Lavigne in Chicago.
Yes.
Nick, weren't you quoting someone this morning saying that Chicago is a second-rate?
Yeah, I was.
I'm only there for 4 nights, so
Yes.
I'm in and out. I'm just there to see Avril.
Yeah, no,
and then
but
jetting off
unfortunately,
to-
she'll get the understudy of Avril.
Oh yeah, because
Tonight,
she
the
died.
role of Avril
I forgot.
Lavigne will be played by
I
Jessica.
forgot about that. She died, didn't she?
That's why she died.
Oh yeah.
Guys, we're not joking about a dead woman. There was just a conspiracy theory that
There's a
Avril
girl
Lavigne
in
had
the
died.
office that really believes that conspiracy.
Who?
I will say
Will you-
that.
Name names.
Oh, is it?
Amber.
Yeah.
Amber believes it. Amber fully
Oh,
believes that Avril Lavigne.
dude.
Please FaceTime her during the concert.
I should, because it'll be like, I don't know, 2 p.m. your time, I think, when I'm going on.
Okay.
Oh, so you'll be able to still join the national producers meeting around that time. That'd be
Well,
good.
while I'm at Avril Lavigne.
yeah, you good for it?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, can you do that thing where you just set up like a green screen thing behind you?
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh.
That's a no.
All right, I feel the wheels are falling off this, so let's
Yep.
just get out while we can. That's it for another week. Awesome stuff coming up next week on the show. It's start of spring. How good. God, I love it that it's sunny now when we get to work. Like, it's just making waking up.
When
just
we get to work?
well,
just when you get to work.
Well, when I
Yeah,
get to
it's
work.
not, it's
Yeah.
not sunny when I do.
Yeah, well, but it'll get there soon for you guys. And,
Oh.
and that's the thing.
Don't
I
think
can
it
take
will.
the excitement that I have and pass it on to you.
It'll be pretty much midday by the time, when the sun is rising for us, it'll feel like midday for you.
I can do an official tease that you boys don't even know about yet. But
Oh.
on Monday, we will have a very special guest on that might be able to help Susie find her keys.
Avril Lavigne.
Is that Please be Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. She can help Susie find her keys.
Is
from
it
Bunnings
is it
Research.
what I think it is? Someone from a TV show?
Mm.
I have been watching that TV show in the last 24 hours. I think we've watched.
Right, you can write the bio on it.
Well, I was going to anyway. That's my job. No, there's going to be 4. There's 4 episodes that I watched with Susanna, and it is one of the worst TV shows I think I've ever watched.
Okay, I know the show we're talking about, so let's discuss this on Next Producers Podcast because I've got a question that I want
Sure.
to ask both of you that
Sure.
involves the
The show?
concept of this show. Yes.
Please
Right.
watch one episode. Just
Okay.
it's fascinating as a producer because I don't know how much of this is real and how much of this is fake. And
What do you mean nothing's ever fake, Lockie?
No. Well, anyway, I guess watch the show if you can read between the lines. Watch that show and we'll talk all about it next week.
Yes, we will. Sorry, very quickly, last note, just because Lockie said something about producing. But I really hope you guys enjoyed me trying to produce a beef between the Braddon brothers just for the sake of socials.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, I wonder how long that story's going to last before it's
24
asked
hours.
to be taken down. But I don't think they even
8 o'clock.
watch it. So
Well, as we saw with Ash on his Instagram today, he probably hasn't even seen us.
yeah.
Yep,
fine.
probably not. Anyway, catch you next week.
Bye.